Welcome to Thursday, October 6, 2022. This Day Weather Podcast is being brought to you by Cowboy State Daily, Wyoming's news authority. Go to cowboystatedaily.com or check out their Facebook page. Nice weekend is coming. There's just one little hitch in our giddy up, and that's going to be a cold front going down eastern sides of the Continental Divide later today, tonight, into Friday. That's going to bring some upslope conditions, low clouds, some rain showers, and some cooler weather east of the Continental Divide. We still got that storm stuck in Arizona and New Mexico, so it stays cloudy, cool, and wet down there. But it is going to be a nice weekend, probably into Monday and Tuesday for a lot of the region, except in that southwest area around Arizona and New Mexico. The rest of the region is going to have great weather this weekend. Get out and enjoy it. Maybe if you're not going to go out in the mountains and see those changing colors or go hunting, maybe this is a good weekend to get that sprinkling system blown out because we have that battle of the models continuing. Our confidence is low on next week, folks. We'll just be brutally honest with you. Every moment the models are changing. We know there's a change in the weather coming. We just don't know how much, and we'll show you more about that here in a minute. Some awesome photos continuing to come on in. You just realize we live in one of the most beautiful places in the world when you get images like this and the other ones I'm going to show you all throughout the region. Just a wonderful time of year to go out and see what we've got going on. Several shots here from northwestern areas of Wyoming, and also all across the state, all across the Rocky Mountain West, we've got scenes like this. Just incredible colors there in the Little Snake River Valley, Wyoming, near Savory. Lake DeSmet with some fog over there. Lake DeSmet, Johnson County, Wyoming, near Buffalo. A really neat shot there. And we're heard from some folks up in North Dakota. Thanks, Charles, for that shot out of Taylor County. Colors changing at all elevations and all throughout the region. Now, as we take a look at satellite imagery, it looks a lot like yesterday. The low stuck down here, the other low that's up here in the upper Midwest, northern Great Lakes. Here's the cold front boundary that's basically going to be pushing south later today and tonight, while we've got high pressure over California and across the Great Basin here. And then you can see how things are just kind of put together. This little dimple right here is that cold front coming south into the Dakotas, then along and east of the Continental Divide. There it is by tonight. You can see there it is today. There it is by tonight. And it's going to be pushing that cold air east of the divide, while that low in the southwestern United States and Mexico just continues to spin around. And here you can see the upslope. These are the temperature anomalies for noon mountain time tomorrow. So you can see up along and east of the divide here, the upslope winds from the east. When air is pushed uphill, it is rising. So when you force air up, it rises and it cools to possibly its dew point. And this is where you get what we call upslop. You get low clouds, you get fog, you get showers as that cold air gets pushed uphill. And this is the cloud forecast for tomorrow morning. So you can see right along the frontal boundary, you can see very well the upslope. Look at that, right on the divide and the higher terrain. So there's going to be some upslope cloudiness in these areas here to greet your morning tomorrow. And that's why areas east of the divide are going to have some cool temperatures. And these are the showers associated with the frontal boundary as it comes through. That low stuck down in the southwestern United States just keeps it wet down there, while the rest of the northwestern United States under that high pressure. This is for Sunday. So for Sunday, and as we go into the weekend, we just have this broad area of high pressure right here. This is going to keep us in a fair weather pattern. Northwest winds aloft will keep temperatures moderate, mild, a little on the cool side, especially at night, but also very, very comfortable. Here's our troublemaker. We call it a troublemaker because the model's having a really hard time with this guy here too, and what develops once we get past the weekend. So here we go with the battle of the weather models once again. This is the European model this is for basically midnight, Tuesday night, Mountain Time into early Wednesday morning. The high pressure builds up into the Gulf of Alaska and along the west coast of Canada, and that in turn drives the jet stream south. And what this will mean is a shot of much colder air coming into the northern Rockies and northern Plain states by Tuesday night and Wednesday if the European model is correct. If you look at the Canadian model, it wants to break the low in the 2. with one low going up into Canada, the other low actually retrograding back into California. So somewhat similar, but I tell you, this solution is a lot warmer than this one. This solution here is also more wet. This one is not nearly as cold and is drier. The GFS, or the American model, is somewhat of a compromise with a pretty strong cold front coming through Tuesday night into Wednesday, but the system kind of trucking along and only a small piece right here breaking off and really not doing very much. However, I want to show you what the solution looked like yesterday on the GFS, or the American model. It's got a strong storm over California as it takes the low, cuts it off, then brings it back to the west. That solution now is gone, and we have these solutions here. So when you have this much disparity and this many different looks at what the weather could be, your confidence is just very low. And as we tell you many times in this podcast, models are tools. They're not reality. So we got to use the tools, got to use some of our experience from weather patterns in the past. And I'll tell you, weather patterns in the past would suggest that a more cohesive trough that the European is showing is likely going to be the higher likely scenario. But we've got several days to figure it out. I think the bottom line is we've got a change in the weather coming next week. We just don't know how much of an impactful change we're going to have. Have yourself a great Thursday. We will see you.